little sleepy, but I'm good.
Hmm.
I am here in Périac-de-Mer in France, southern France, staying with our dear friends, and yeah, having a
Having a
get
ball?
adjusting. Yeah, having a ball. We arrived. I want to say, what's today? Today's Monday.
Monday. Yeah.
Yeah, we record on Mondays, and I we got here. I think Saturday. I think
Yes.
yeah, we
I
left
think
on
yes.
Friday.
Yes. It
So uh, we haven't had an adventure.
not yet. Well, you did have an adventure traveling after
We
Thanksgiving.
did.
I think that's adventurous. Um,
We did.
so
Did you
yeah.
know we missed our train? Did you know that?
Oh, I didn't know you
No.
missed your train.
Mm-hmm.
How did that happen? I
So,
saw that you all
well,
had a lovely lunch in the cafe at the train station. So,
we arrived on time to the train station. Our train was at 4:08. I thought our train was at 6:50. I missed the fact that that was our second train because normally we take a direct train, but I was getting the cheapest tickets this time.
yes.
So we did a so I bought tickets that had us doing a changeover in Valence. I don't even know what Valence is. Like I
Right.
didn't register as a city.
Right.
And I kept looking at it like that's interesting. That doesn't look like Gare de Lyon, which is the train station. I totally did not download the first ticket in my wallet. So the only ticket I had
Oh.
was the 650. So we're just sitting there, sitting there,
Oh.
sitting there, sitting there. And Lorenzo's like, wow, we got here at noon and train's not until 6:50. I know, hon. Yeah, well. And so we had lunch and then we moved to the Starbucks, which was next door because it was like all Starbucks, it was
Right.
inside and it was warm. And so we were just sitting there and really I got a nudge from the Lord. It was the Holy Spirit. Had to be. They said,
Right.
why don't you, sweetheart? It was like 5 o'clock. Why don't you check your ticket again? Why don't you go to the original booking? So I said, okay. Oh, because I never saw our train come up on the thing. And I was like, this is
Right.
really odd. They're skipping our time. So I looked, lo and behold, our train was at 4:08. It was like
Oh
five
my
something.
goodness. Oh my goodness.
So both
Oh
look,
my.
thank God we grew up traveling. Thank God this is all we thank God. Cause so we were like, oh no. So we go downstairs, we, show them we had tickets, we missed our train. Long story short, they're like, we don't service this company. You have to go to the so we had to, you know how you were in hall two?
Yeah. Yeah.
We had to go to hall three. So we
Okay.
had to go all the way around to the different hall,
Yep.
found a lady who said she could get us to on a train to Valence. There was one more train going out. So we had 15 minutes to buy a new ticket,
Wow.
all the thing. It was crazy on the machine. We were frantic and get on that train to Valence. And then while we were on the train, when the conductor goes to look for the train, get the ticket, check your ticket. We just explained to him what was going on, and we were like, we're really trying to get to Narbonne. And he's like, oh, Narbonne. Oh, and every time we tell
Right.
people we're going to Narbonne, they're
They're
like,
like, oh,
You're going to
right.
Narbonne?
Wrong. Right.
What? How do you even know
Right.
about that?
Right.
Where are you from?
Right.
Washington, D.C.
Right.
So, so he says, he says, look, okay, you can get off at Valence. You're still not going to get there at 11:56. Now, mind you, we were supposed to get here at 9. So now Stefan
Oh
has to pick us
gosh.
up at 11:56, not 9.
Oh no.
So, then we said, but he says, you can stay on this train with me and we'll take you all the way to Montpellier, which is, we know, not far
Yes.
from Narbonne,
Yes.
right? Remember?
Yes. Yes.
And and then he said, you'll get off at Montpellier and then you just buy a ticket, a cheap ticket from Montpelier, like on the think of the MARC train on the
Mhm.
commuter
Mhm.
train
Mhm.
to to Narbonne, and you'll still get there at 11:56, but at least you're not doing all this other crazy stuff. And so we were, of course, grateful. Yeah, we'll just stay on this train, and we will get off at Montpelier. And then he was so sweet. He was very sweet, and I knew he wanted to deliver this line because, mind you, our ticket was only to Valence, and Montpelier is 3 stops after Valence.
Wow.
So we're like, okay, how do we buy another to add to our ticket? He goes, your money's not good here, and you could tell he was just waiting for to deliver that line. It
Your
was so
money's
sweet.
not good
He said, your
here.
money's not good here. You just stay with me on the train. And we were like,
Oh,
oh, thank you.
nice.
And then he
Oh,
did the little
nice.
fist bump.
Yes.
So, yeah. And then so we got off
Yes.
at Montpellier and then waited an hour there and caught the train.
Train to know.
But
Oh my
so to
gosh.
Narbonne. And so Stefan picked us up. I kept saying it's 11:56. He's like, why don't we just say midnight, Cherie? Come on now. So, but I said they said 11:56. So
Wow.
when he picked us up,
Wow.
it was exactly 11:56 because I saw him. He was looking at the clock, like, oh,
Right.
all right.
All right.
And then we stopped off at the side. This man who has like a food truck for the discoers who get out of the disco club or
Mm-hmm.
truckers or whomever wants to eat between midnight and 6 a.m. So we stopped by there and got some French fries, and then went over to Stefan's place and crashed and didn't get up Sunday until 2:30.
Wow. I was going to ask you
Yeah.
about your food during your adventurous day. Like, what were you eating? But I am glad to hear that you did have a French fry snack.
We had French fry snack.
Yes.
We had lunch. Excuse me, we had
Yeah.
lunch.
Yeah.
I got some
Risotto.
risotto
Yeah. Yeah.
with mushroom. It wasn't that great. It was in the train station. I don't
Yeah.
know why I just didn't get a. And
I
and
found the food on
then
the
French
train was
fries.
really good. Did you get any food on the
Oh
train?
yeah,
They had
I
this
did.
pastry thing.
Yeah, I got
Oh,
actually a sandwich on the train, and that was good.
yeah.
Because that one Stefan knew when we were coming in. He's like, why don't you guys just get you something to eat?
Yes.
So we did. All right. So in the travels, though, I have my favorite black turtleneck sweater
Yeah.
tied around my neck because I didn't have enough room in my suitcase, and
Right.
winter it's cold here, so I just tied it around my neck. I had this sweater on, my black sweater tied around my neck, and my black jacket. By the time, okay, we're an hour out from Montpelier, I'm sitting in the thing, and I'm like, my sweater's gone. And I was so upset because it was my favorite sweater. It
Yeah.
was my favorite. It was like wool cashmere
Yeah.
sweater, and I had just shaved up, fixed it up. I've had it for about 15 years. I had, you know, so I was so upset. I
Oh,
almost started crying.
oh no.
So Lorenzo says, Cherie, because our original tickets were in first class, but obviously we weren't in that. But that's we hopped on and was there, and then collected ourselves, and then went to car 8. So we were in car 2, and then we went to car 8. That's where
Right.
we. So Lorenzo says, go back and just backtrack. Maybe it was there. Maybe when we settled, you kind of left it
Took it
there.
off. Right.
So that's, mind you, 3 hours ago. So, but this is France, and people don't really take your stuff that much. At least I haven't experienced that. So I walk all the way back. I don't see it. I'm a little dejected. My head's hanging down.
Oh.
And I walk back, and I notice there's a black sweater hanging on the side of this woman's seat. And I walk through, and I was
Right.
like, that looks like my sweater, but it's with her. And then I was like, oh God, the language, and because
Yeah.
nobody's speaking
Right.
English down here. And then I was like, okay, you're gonna be brave, and you're just gonna ask. if that's, her
Right,
sweater.
right.
So I turn around and I go back and I was like, pardon, mademoiselle, pardon. And basically hand like, is that sweater yours? I
Right,
said,
right,
sure.
right.
And she's like, no, no, it was on the floor. She just hung it up. And I was like, oh, it's my sweater. And I was so like, oh, and they were all so happy for
Right.
me.
Right. Your sweater was returned.
Was returned. And so I get back to the seat and I show Lorenzo the sweater. He's like, oh, yeah, I've been praying ever since you left. I was like,
Oh,
Lord, please let her find her sweater.
yes.
So, yeah, so that was it was just the emotion, just a lot of emotions.
Yeah.
So when we went to
Yes.
sleep, we crashed.
Curled up with your
But then we
sweater.
got, oh gosh, yes, I love my sweater. I did put it on yesterday. And I probably will wear it every day because you don't have to dress it. You're not
Right.
really, this is
Right.
not Paris. This is
Right.
so,
I
and
love
now we're in
it.
the little village. And so we got up and we took a walk yesterday and we took a walk today around the lake and all the way, or the pond, but it looks
Yeah.
like a big lake. So that's what
Oh,
we
that's
did this.
nice.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
nice. That's nice.
Hmm.
So, how cold is it this time of year?
Well, um it is okay. Yesterday it was pretty cold, like 30s,
Oh, really?
30s, 40s. Yeah. Today, well,
Wow.
let's say 40s. Let's say 40s.
Okay.
Today it was warmer. So the high would be
Okay.
64.
That's nice.
So today was a nice day. It rained after our walk
Okay.
today. And but it gets dark. You know how it was light until 10 o'clock in the
Yeah.
summer,
Yeah. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
9:45, 10
Yeah.
o'clock. 5:15, sun is down.
Oh, wow.
And it's cooler. It's much cool. It's cold. I mean,
Right.
you're
Right. You're
but it's
needing
not
to.
a bitter cold, but
Right. We woke up to 24-degree weather today.
we heard. We
Yes.
heard.
You
We were
all you
sharing.
all left like in
We missed the heat and it sounds like we were
near
missing
the
the cold.
cold. Yes. I'm
Did
like,
it snow?
ooh. It did flurries, but nothing significant. No. It was just like pretty to look at and get excited about out the window.
Yeah.
But I think I don't know. I don't really watch the news in advance, the weather forecast, but I kind of wake up and Alexa tells me what the weather is. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, it was cold. We were outside in it yesterday and it was cold. I was like, oh, this is like bone chilling cold. This is
Wow.
like hot toddy or hot cocoa, chili eating
Mm-hmm.
cold. It was cold. And it
Oh yeah.
smelled. You know how you can smell snow or
Smell
like
the
the weather?
snow.
Yes, it felt like that. So we'll see.
When
We
we
haven't
left,
had
we smelled so.
yeah, we haven't had snow in this area for like a real snow in a while.
Mm-hmm. I
In a
know.
while. Yeah, we've had dusting, but nothing significant.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. So I have to like find my thick, because I have to go out today, my thick jacket. And I just hate like, they're cumbersome jackets. You take them
I know.
off and you put them on and the layers. So, and the scarves, because I have to have something around my neck
Yeah. Yeah.
or I
I mean,
get sick.
even today I brought two scarves, my black one and
Yeah.
burgundy one.
It's
Yeah.
my neck
Yeah.
is what I have to protect. So, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's good. So
Makes
you're
sense.
in good, cool, cold weather.
We are. We are. I mean, this is soup weather. Stefan has, oh my goodness, on a different podcast when we figure out how to add pictures and different things.
Yeah.
The technology, when you travel, you just get exposed to different technology. So he has a wood burning stove, but it's
Mm-hmm.
been upgraded. It's not like an old-fashioned wood burning stove. You can set it, it turns itself on and off
Oh,
throughout the
wow.
day, and it burns wood biodegradable pellets, it's a clean wood burning stove
Oh,
and it's
wow.
amazing. And so I took pictures of it because I haven't seen this technology.
Right.
And he installed it himself. He has a wood burning stove, but he's like, you got to feed a fire because, like Granddaddy's stove, you
Correct.
would have
Like
to
you feed a fire.
feed that. But this, you add the pellets up top. That's the fuel. It
Okay.
burns that. It's clean. There's no smoke.
Wow.
And it just gives you a nice heat source that's steady without you having to man it.
Yeah.
It's an Italian company. Um,
S-
yeah.
So is that what heats the house or what he
Well,
cooks
he
with
has
or
that for that's for downstairs. He has regular, like a regular kitchen
right,
downstairs.
right.
But that's like it's three levels to the maison. So
Okay.
you have and then the steps go around
Okay.
up. And so the walls are very thick. So everything is thick, thick, thick. It's a
Okay.
medieval village, so this
Got
stuff
it.
is ancient.
Right.
And but upstairs it's there's modern. He has the flat radiators. So
Okay.
he does have radiators, but like the ones in Europe, or they're flat. They're not like our radiators that are big and iron. These are
Right. The flat ones.
kind of more flush to the wall.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So those are for the bedrooms upstairs.
Okay.
Um, and we use thick tapestries between the walls to kind of keep the heat in.
Yeah.
So you'll have like on his front door he has padding, but then on between the second floor and our floor, because we were on the top floor,
Uh-huh.
he has like a huge tapestry across the entryway just to keep things um,
It's
warm and
almost like
tighter.
insulated. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
fascinating.
It is fascinating. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So to see the old with the new,
Yes.
um, yeah.
The old with the
So
new. I bet it's
mhm.
beautiful too. Like it adds a
It
different
is. It
texture and
does.
colors. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it does. It does. And the floors are all like stone and tile, so you have to have carpets.
Oh,
You can't, it's
carpets.
not wood. It's
Oh,
not wood.
wow.
Mm-hmm.
That is
Mm-hmm.
amazing. It looks
Yeah.
like I want to go in it
Yeah.
next time that
Yeah, you'll
I'm
have to
there.
well, okay, you'll have to
Yeah.
because he's just got all this art, you
Oh,
know.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
it. And then, how far are you from the restaurant we ate at? Is it it's walking distance?
Oh yeah, the little cafe, outdoor
Yeah, yeah,
cafe kind of thing.
yeah.
Oh, as soon as you walk out of this place, you make a left and you walk 13 steps and you're
Oh,
there.
wow. That's great.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
He's
great.
directly, where the church is.
Yes.
He's directly across the street from the church this way.
Okay.
So when we okay, this is the thing. The the bell goes off every day, every hour,
Every hour.
every half hour,
Really? Is it a
every
working
hour.
church? Is it a working church?
Well,
Like
they have
working in the sense
services
that
here
they have services. Yeah.
once a month because I think they do a traveling vicar and they're in a
Okay.
project. They're trying to restore the church. But yeah,
Okay.
I'll take pictures of that too.
Yeah.
So we
Yes.
can kind of like if we can figure it
Yes.
out. Oh,
Yes.
here's the other thing. On Friday, I was gonna film Stefan. I'll see if I can. But the winery here, the Periac de Mer, they have their own little winery
Mm-hmm.
vineyard and they have a distillery. Well, for the first time, they're making a red wine and a rose wine and they're bottling it.
Ooh.
So I'm gonna see if I can film it. And if I can, I'll film it for our viewers.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Oh, that sounds
I mean, and
great.
then Kyrie maybe we can figure out how to put it up on the
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm learning all types of little editing tips and tricks, and slicing, and I just have to find like a program that makes sense, like that's intuitive enough for me to like drag and drop.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that sounds really good. Well, you're back in the land of wonderful food.
I am. I mean, the vegetables.
Oh,
And we're
gosh.
already eating just healthier and um, less
Yeah.
because it's
It's
the
it's
course
nutrient filled food
nutrient.
too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Like
And
we had the salad, we had we had some salmon and pasta. They don't like to eat. They typically don't eat meat. Stefan doesn't eat meat, but
mm-hmm.
they do eat seafood.
Mm-hmm.
And so tomorrow the seafood truck comes, so we'll get some mussels,
Oh,
fresh mussels. I know
the
it just
seafood
drives up
truck
to.
comes. Are you serious?
Uh-huh. Yeah, it comes to the village every Tuesday in the morning and with fresh seafood. And I mean, and we're on the Mediterranean, so
Oh my
um and so we're gonna
gosh.
get that, and then
Take a
they have
picture
the
of the
little
seafood
market.
truck.
I will. Yeah, that's a good idea. And then they have the market and so forth. So it's much smaller because it's the village versus
Right.
Narbonne, but I like it. And Shawnee, I'm kind of like Lorenzo. Hey, maybe the village life could be. Maybe we could, if we get a little
Right.
something, rather than the city, the village.
Right.
He's like, I'll stay open. He's like, where? He said, ultimately, it's going to be what you really want to do.
Right.
I'll be
Right.
wherever you are. So he's like,
Right.
so
Right.
we're just kind of feeling it out. This is well, we're just trying to figure out, okay, if we live in a city, do we want to, and we're city people,
Yes.
but do we want, if we invest in something overseas, do we want to get something a little different, but that still allows us to walk, still allows us to have
Exactly.
community, but it's not in another city. And Shawnee, you can get twice the space for your money in the
Right.
village
In the
versus in the
village.
city.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
and we know we're going to have people visiting, and Perryock isn't far from Narbonne anyway.
It's not.
It's like 10, 15 minutes. It's
It's
not.
not. It's not at all. And I think that
So,
it is like a little, I mean, it's a very uh communal walking village. It's not
oh,
like a
it is.
sparse village. It's not sparse where you don't have anything, really around or
Right.
nothing to do.
And
Um,
it's beautiful, like
it's
the
gorgeous.
boardwalk on the water.
Yeah.
And like this morning, yesterday we did an hour hike. Today we did an hour hike through the water. We went
Yeah.
the water, then the mountains, then down through the forest and back. So I got looked at my steps because that was the thing. I want to make sure I can get 10,000 steps a
Mhm.
day, and if I just go and do my walk, that was 8,000 right there
Yeah. No,
just for
that's
walking an
just
hour.
gorgeous. It's gorgeous. And it's a place where
So,
you want to walk. You
oh
want to
yeah.
get outside
Oh,
and be with
oh yeah,
be
for
with
sure.
nature. No, I think
Yeah.
it's lovely. So, um,
Yeah.
wow. Wow. And
Mm.
I just am like all the food and the produce.
And the prices,
And the
the prices.
prices, the prices. Gosh, the
Uh, I
prices.
mean, that's the thing.
You just can
We are
afford
just
to
paying.
live better.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
so no, that's really good. And I thought the village was charming. I love the
It is.
city.
It's like a French Doc Martin.
It really is. It really is. And I loved it. It's very,
Yeah.
very charming. And I think it's like easier to be known, in that space and like make connections.
Oh, it's true. In fact, when we were coming from our hike yesterday with Stefan and Karin, this man yelled, "Hey, the Americans!" And we're like, "Oh God, hello, hello! I know you. I know all
Right.
about you." So we realized, okay, that's Stefan's friend, and he
Yes.
owns one of the restaurants here,
Okay.
but he was getting ready to leave for a couple weeks because he said he needs a break. He says the jokes are tired, the customers are tired, so he says he better go rest up so that
Right.
he can,
Right.
stay fresh. But he was
Yes.
so sweet. He said, "Listen, while I'm gone, if you guys want to use my terrace to drink wine, just
Oh, lovely.
very, yeah, just very open,
Lovely.
friendly." And you're right, everybody knows everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
for better or for worse. I mean, Stefan's like, for better or for worse, it's village life. You
Village
know,
life.
pe- yeah, people are in your
Yeah.
business, but
Mm-hmm.
it was kind of fun um
I think
to
that's good. This is a great getaway. I think right between Thanksgiving and Christmas is nice.
mhm
That seems like a nice
mhm
type of break
yeah.
before the hullabaloo of 2025
And
and
all
all
that
of
that's
that.
gonna
And all of that. In all of 2025. Lots of things in 2025. So, um just rest. I'm trying to black out my calendar after December 22nd where
good,
I'm not doing anything additional.
good, good,
Um I think I'm going to try and take about 2 weeks off from work
good.
after Christmas, and the girls will have their Christmas break, and
Mhm.
I will try and not to fill it up with extra stuff so that I can just rest. Like,
Yeah.
just to rest. That's what I'm going to try and do. So I want to get past like all the Christmas holiday parties, all the, all the fun stuff that you want to do and you have to do but still takes energy.
Right,
I
right.
think my last holiday party is the 22nd. I think that's the last one.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then,
I think ours is on the 21st, the last
yeah,
when we get back.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
You're right.
I just want to have like downtime.
It's important.
Yes.
And you'll find because even being here, I realized, oh, this is like we don't have a lot to do, and Stefan's like, or we said we're not doing a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But you realize, oh, I don't know how to stop
Right.
when,
Right.
just to be. And
Yes.
so that's what I'm really trying to do, some journaling, do some reading, and know that resting is actually one of the most restorative, important things
Yeah.
to be doing. And the quiet. And I do
Mm-hmm.
appreciate there's no, I mean, we could always access something on the computer, but
Right.
this isn't really an environment where that's happening. So you don't think to do it. So
Right.
we've had a lot of quiet. And like I
Mm.
said, 5:15, it's pretty dark. And when it's dark, it's no street lights.
Mm-mm.
You're doing quiet things, and then you go to bed.
Right. No, that sounds lovely.
So
That
I
sounds
think for
lovely.
you, it's right. It's gonna be just I say all this to say, give yourself, when you start your sabbatical, your
Mm-hmm.
2 week little drawing away, give
Yeah.
yourself, don't be impatient when you're like fidgeting,
Exactly.
because it's gonna take you a minute to just settle into the rest. Like, don't
Exactly.
schedule anything, Chantel, is what I'm trying to say. Don't,
Yes.
even if it's a good thing.
Yes. Yes. I do. Yes. That is easy. Like so we're having a literary themed Christmas. A literary themed. Leela and I came up with it, which means okay, not everyone in the family is really excited about it, but I think they're getting, which is Christmas gifts that are all tied to literary themes. So it could be, obviously there's books. I always like receiving books at Christmas. Um, but then there's things that go with it. So like pens, journals, reading lights, book socks. Like you can really get creative with things that attach to, even how they have shawls with the like literature stuff or comic books for Kyrie and things in that, vein. Um, Also subscriptions to books online, like, through Kindle, Audible, like just
Audible,
a
yeah.
wide range of products that you can have that's attached to literature and reading. And then I want to have like a grand moment. That's what I'm calling it. We come together in the living room, maybe with our blankets and our snuggles and our books, and we read together our separate things.
Oh, yes.
I
There are
just,
places that do that, gathering places.
yes,
So who's super excited about this idea other than you?
Leela and I are super excited about it. We actually came up with this idea, and the air actually is like she's really excited about it too because
I was gonna
she
say she's
loves
probably, but
she
Lourdes.
loves to
But
read.
what about my baby?
Okay, so Lourdes is like not excited about it, so we are gonna have gifts, like, because she's just like,
Because I was gonna say, can totally see Leela,
yes,
can totally see Niera because it sounds
yes,
like a quiet
yes,
activity,
it's a
and
quiet
she's all
activity.
about. So she's all about
Right. Right. Kyrie and
poor
Lourdes
Lourdes.
are not as thrilled. So we are going to get, gifts, something to play with, like regular gifts, a few of those. But the majority, or for like us, like Leela, myself, like, yes, books. So I will have a book to read, and I do a lot of reading for work or teaching. Um, but I don't do a lot of reading for pleasure, like my pleasure, my present pleasure, stuff that I haven't read, or it's like something that I'm not studying or, studying to teach.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm really looking forward to, over those days, those weeks of reading, just a really good book for my enjoyment, just for my enjoyment. I think the last book
So
I
what
read like that was
what
the
book?
chemistry, like lessons in chemistry. That was the
Oh,
last book
that
that
was,
I
yeah,
just read for
just
my
read to
pleasure.
enjoy. Yeah,
Yes.
that was a good book.
And the books that I teach, I do enjoy those, those too,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a different type of experience where I'm not having
Yeah,
to
yeah,
engage
yeah,
in
sure.
that way. So yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. And
So will you send me some book titles
I
so
will
that I can
send
be
you
thinking
some book
about
titles.
your
Yes, I will
Christmas?
send you some book titles. And also,
Mm-hmm.
what we decided is to also, like, so we're only gonna like give on a list like 3 book suggestions that we want because we
Mm-hmm.
also want to be surprised, like with someone
Okay.
picking a book for us, because that way, like, I always have certain genres or certain writers that I'm like, okay, I know that I can read this, I'm going to be satisfied. But it also limits me. So when you have someone like
Right.
give you a book, it expands you. You're like, oh, I
Right.
never
It's
would have read
true.
this book. So I also want to be
That's true.
surprised by books as well.
Well, I'm
So
very
yes,
excited about this
I just
literary.
yes,
I'm very excited about that because I love books and I love
yes.
giving books. And
Yes. It's
yeah.
and then like even like ornaments for the Christmas tree this year can be
Mm-hmm.
literary themed, and also
Mm-hmm.
like food and beverages, because when you're reading a good book, you need to have good
Oh.
tea, or you see how it can expand.
Oh yeah.
Like when
It
you
really
start to
can.
think about it, you need like a nice candle, or you know,
Exactly.
it
A
can
warm
really a
throw.
warm throw. Do you see? It's all
I
tied.
totally see it.
It's
I
all
totally see it.
tied. It's
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
tied. So for Kyrie, yes, Kyrie is he wants to read. He wants to challenge himself to read a book a month. Okay, which is that's a lot. Um,
No, I
so,
know. I'm like,
but
it's given
yeah,
everything he's got going on. Good
right.
for him.
So I said, well, why don't, maybe not like a book a month, but maybe like one every other month. And so,
Yeah.
so I think, like, what would it look like if you picked out here's my reading list, right, for the year.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So there's
Mm-hmm.
momentum. If you're like, hey, I want to mix genres, or,
Mm-hmm.
you have your books for the year. And then,
Right.
because I was telling him, he's not like a reader like that. And he's like, how do you read? Like, how do you read so much? And I think that readers are very intentional about reading.
Yeah. I was gonna say, yeah. It's scheduled.
It's
It's
scheduled.
like
I think
if
people
yeah,
think it's like, no, there is intentionality. If I have a book and I, based on the size, the pages, and also the purpose, like what I'm reading it for, I in my
yeah,
mind know how I'm gonna pace through that book.
right.
And there's
Yeah.
intentionality behind it.
Mm-hmm. Like people schedule their workout, right? So
Yes.
I know if I don't put the work, readers also put in reading time. And you're
Right.
right, it's separate from sometimes like that reading time is separate from the reading that I have to do versus that keeps my skills up for my work versus the reading that I want to do.
Yes.
And it's not magic. It actually is. You're right. Look at a book. How many pages? What do I?
Right. Right. How many pages am
It's
I reading today? Yes.
yeah, yeah.
And then I told him that you can't necessarily, or at least I'll say, in my season of life, and it's been like this for a minute. I don't have I'm not in a season where on an average day I can say, oh, I can settle down for an hour and a half and just read.
Mm-mm.
That's not what I have right now. So
Yeah, you don't have that now. Yeah.
I read in more in minutes and in moments. So I take my
Mm-hmm.
book with me. I always have a book with me because when
Yeah.
I'm in the car or if I'm
Well,
waiting for
readers
something,
do. Yeah.
right? Like that's good
Readers
reading
always have their
time.
book. We always
Right.
have our book.
So how I'm doing it, so instead of like maybe going through the phone all the time,
Mm-hmm.
right? When you have those extra moments, I told him, what if you traded some of those extra moments for reading, you know? And let me tell you how
Mm-hmm.
sexy it is to me to like, so when Kyrie really, he'll want to turn up the charm. He'll get his readers on, sit in a chair, open up a book. And it just does it for me.
That is
It
sexy.
is
I
just
know,
so
me too. That
sexy.
is sexy.
It is very sexy to me, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
find when
Yeah.
I'm out in public, so when I was traveling, actually, when I was traveling to France, I did not engage my phone unless like
Mm-hmm.
for like a purpose of logistical purpose or
Mm-hmm.
finding information. I really enjoyed traveling and reading because I was traveling by myself, so I had, this that space of time. And I got so many looks and attention because I was just sitting and like reading, and I realized that I stood out, you know? It was
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I wasn't like on the phone, and I had
Yeah.
different people
Yeah.
like ask like, oh, what are you reading? Or,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and so, but I think it's really good to try and find those moments to read. And then that's just how you keep up that habit. You
Mm-hmm.
just, you
Mm-hmm.
just find those moments and you read. But it is something you
Yeah.
have to actually sit and do. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
And sometimes, depending on how you're wired, that can feel like it's not, but it can feel like I'm wasting time.
yes, it
I
it
think
does.
that's an unspoken kind of thing that
Yeah.
if I'm sitting and reading, if you haven't come out of a culture where that is
Yes.
promoted, or if you
Yes.
haven't, if you're naturally a more active person, but if you didn't see people sitting and reading and that not be viewed as a waste of time,
Right.
it can feel like it. It's not, but
Right. No, you're right. I didn't think about that. And also, one of the things like that he noticed, he was like, "Oh my gosh, my attention span," you know, because reading
Mm-hmm.
actually is one of those activities when you're actually reading the words, not listening, that actually it elongates your attention span.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
because the stimulus that we're used to on screens, it's not there in that, in the book.
Right.
It's just,
Right.
you know,
Well, and
words.
because it takes a little bit more energy because you actually have to read it and then it
Yes.
your imagination has to create the scene for
Yes.
you
There's
that you're
lots of stuff.
reading. And all of that happens very quick, but which is why when you stop reading, we actually stop growing synapses in the
Yeah.
way that there's things that grow when you're reading synapses versus when you're not reading, when you're just
Yeah.
being almost consuming.
Right.
Uh,
Right. So it's really good. So I think I'm trying to sell it. Um sell it
well, yeah.
with gifts, especially for Miss Lourdes, who's just like, that's wonderful. And yes, I still need my like my stuff.
Well, what does Lourdes want for Christmas? What's on her Christmas list?
She likes arts, artsy stuff.
Okay.
She's a pre-teenager, so she's getting into curiosities of like lip gloss and that
Oh,
stuff.
okay.
But she really likes to have art supplies
Mm-hmm.
is a big thing for her.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and she also is um likes like organizational things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, and cute organizational things.
Mm-hmm.
So like a
Mm-hmm.
cute like notebooks and pencil pouches and stuff like that. She likes stuff like that, like a bag. I think she wants a bag. She's now at the age where she's like has use of a purse in a bag. So
Mm-hmm.
so
Mm-hmm.
like she wants like something that's trendy and cute. And then
Mm-hmm.
stuff to play with. So the girls have just kind of gotten out of dolls this past year. And that was
Mm-hmm.
really great for us because they just wanted doll stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She is interested in architecture and so interested in building models. So like crafts
Okay.
for like that, the board, I forgot what they call it, but that craft board where so she's like drawing structures and houses and then wants to do
Oh,
a
cool.
3D of
Very
that type of
cool.
stuff. So like those are the kind of things that I think she's, um interested in this year. And things she can do like board games. Nia
Mm-hmm.
loves puzzles. She's our puzzle
Oh, okay. Because I
person.
was gonna
She
near. Okay.
loves puzzles, which I said could be is a literary thing because one could get a puzzle of like a bookstore
Oh
or a
yeah.
book, right?
Yeah.
But
I
she
had a
loves
puzzle
puzzles.
of the Hounds of Baskerville a long time ago.
Yes.
So good.
So last year I got her a puzzle. It was like a tiny puzzle, and it was a puzzle of like a Shakespearean scene. I forgot, like I think it was like Romeo and Juliet or something. And she likes to sit on the floor and do it.
Oh, okay.
So, and
Nice.
then we
Okay.
put the dog's like kind of his cage, or like she sits in there to
Oh,
protect the
okay.
puzzle pieces from the cat.
Sure. Okay.
So that's so
Smart.
she because the table it's we don't have like a surface where it can't be disturbed. So when she builds her
Right.
puzzle on the floor in the crate,
Right.
basically the open air crate, her puzzle is not
It's
disturbed. It's
protected.
protected.
Yeah.
She has figured out a way to protect her puzzle. So like she
I
loves
love it.
yeah, she loves puzzles. And so I think I think it'll be fun. I think it should be a tradition. I'm like, I think this is just should be
Chantel, let's just get
okay.
through this Christmas and then and see how that works and
We'll
see
see how that works. We'll
yeah.
see. We'll see how that works.
Because Kyrie may want one year to have a Marvel
He
comic
might.
book character
Yes.
Christmas. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. He,
all things
all things like
Marvel.
that.
So
Yes. Which is still literary,
it is, it is, it is.
it's still literary, so that's what it is. But we haven't I have yet I don't have any Christmas stuff up yet. So that's what I have to pull
Get that going.
and get that going. I mean, I just think that the holidays, there's no space. And I feel like we all feel rushed. Before Thanksgiving, like a week before Thanksgiving, the lights, Christmas lights were up.
I know,
And I
I
just
know.
don't. And so then you're like, oh, now Thanksgiving is over. Boom, Christmas. And I just feel like, uh, you
I
know,
wonder if we can take that back a little. I wonder if even if just because society or maybe our culture is pushing us to,
mm-hmm,
move into Christmas so quickly, I wonder if we can say, you know what, I'm gonna have Thanksgiving.
mm-hmm.
I'm going to breathe for 7 days, 7 to 10
Yes,
days, and then
yes,
I'm going to put up Christmas because
yes,
Christmas can stay until January 6th, like Epiphany,
yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm not going to rush to hurry up and put up Christmas.
I
I
think that
can,
yeah,
you know, and
that
just push
feels
back
good.
on all the rushing,
All the
you
rushing.
know? And actually enter into the season of Advent,
Mm-hmm,
right?
mm-hmm.
So, because what happens, you can almost not really have the headspace to enter into Advent and really
Right,
benefit from what the Advent means
right.
because we're so busy trying to get the lights up, get the tree up, get everything done. And I I'm just kind of
Yeah,
rethinking what's the rush, Cherie? Is the rush because you're seeing people have everything done and then you're invited to party, Christmas party? What
right,
would make it more enjoyable? Would it make it more
right.
enjoyable where I say the only thing I'm gonna do after Christmas, I mean after Thanksgiving, is maybe an Advent wreath for the
Mm-hmm,
table with
mm-hmm,
the four candles, and
mm-hmm.
then enter into that space, and then maybe around the 10th, 12th, or whatever, put up but then the tree can go up from a rested place
Yes,
rather than a
a
hurried
hurried place.
place
Yes,
because it's going to be there a good 2 to 3. I'll enjoy the tree. Like,
exactly. No, I think that's so smart because I know this year I just am like, I don't have, I mean, we are kind of almost fully finished taking Thanksgiving down. Then it's like
right.
putting Christmas up. So it's not as meaningful when you're rushing, like for me, like
Exactly.
that.
When you're rushing
And I just
and you
didn't
and
even,
you
and I'm
totally
like,
don't
oh
get
my
Advent.
gosh, it's Advent, right? So let me
I
like put my, head in that. So I think that that's
Yeah,
what, um, what I will do. And it's just gentler. Like yeah, some of these things that we're
yeah.
so pressure, so rushing forward to, it actually isn't necessary. It actually
It's
isn't
not.
benefiting us. It actually is a commercially benefiting. It's consumerism. It benefits
It's
business.
consumerism. Who
Um,
says that we have to have, all of this
exactly.
stuff perfect? And we don't.
And
We actually don't.
we don't. And working, you know, working for a company that does we is has retail, like I understand, like the drive, the lead up, the push is like
Oh, yeah.
before, it's like we have to get certain things in place, in email boxes, in campaigns before, and it's just earlier and earlier and earlier. But it has nothing to do with the meaning. It has nothing to do with how it's making people feel, in their lives. So I do think it is a place that we have to push back upon, and have some healthy boundaries,
Right.
around it. Just,
Right.
healthy boundaries around
I'll,
these things.
yeah. I'll be honest. What kind of had me thinking about this, Chantel, is we were, obviously we were leaving right after
Mm-hmm.
Thanksgiving. We come back on the 12th. And at first I had this anxiety. I almost couldn't enjoy the anticipation of the trip
Right.
because I was experiencing anxiety about I'm not going to have my tree up right away
Right.
because when do we do the tree? Right after
Right after
Thanksgiving, all of that.
Thanksgiving.
And then on top of that, I have all this stuff in our living room because the middle room, as you know, we're painting,
Mhm.
turning it into
Mhm.
my red space. So
Mhm.
I I was downstairs and I said, Lorenzo, I want you to know I'm okay. I had a conversation with myself.
Mhm.
I'm okay with us. We get back, we'll get everything clear and set up, and the tree can go up on the 20th. It's not going to take away from Christmas.
Right.
I will enjoy my tree until after, January
Right.
6th. And once I had made that decision, it was like a weight. It was like I exhaled. I didn't even know how much pressure
Right.
that I was putting on myself for something that I didn't need to do that.
Exactly.
And it's because I'm walking around the hill and I'm seeing all the trees up and I'm seeing,
Right.
and it's just like, Cherie, take a beat. And then I
Right.
thought, why not just really create a different rhythm
Right.
that allows me to enjoy Advent where and allows me to focus on this anticipation,
Mhm.
put up the tree, enjoy from a rested
To
place,
place. Right. Right.
have a beautiful
Absolutely.
Christmas Eve dinner, right?
Mhm.
All of that's still going to happen. That's the Christmas part of it, right?
Right.
Go to
Right.
the service. Yeah, I don't think I'll be rushing from Thanksgiving to Christmas anymore.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. It's just it's not practical. It's not necessary and it's not beneficial. Not,
Mm-mm.
not it's not a storefront.
It's
The
not a
house is
storefront.
not a storefront.
The
I'm
house
not
is not a
selling
storefront.
anything here.
Right,
So I don't,
right.
and I think like that's what has happened is that,
Yes.
individual people are keeping up with the push of the consumer storefronts and businesses that are, selling.
Yeah,
And so,
yeah.
boom, then we're going to change right after Christmas. I don't know. We change into what? Is it, I don't know when the Super Bowl is, if it's January or February,
Well, you go rush into suit,
but
then you
it's
got Valentine
Valentine's
looking at
Day,
you,
right? Right there.
and then you got Easter.
And then
Okay,
Easter. It's boom, boom,
and then
boom.
the Holy Grail of Mother's Day in May, in May, the whole,
Mother's Day.
which is just a
Yes.
huge consumer.
Huge, huge, huge thing. And how do we unplug from all of that?
Hmm.
It's hard.
It's
But yeah,
hard,
it's hard.
but we can.
But
The first
we
step is
can.
awareness.
That is it. That's the first step. And having maybe some sacred rhythms,
Hmm.
with
Hmm.
it, I think provides protection
Like,
as
I
well.
really appreciate this conversation
Mm-hmm.
between us
Yes. Yes.
because I have made a decision. I will no longer
Mm-hmm.
be rushing and making my household
Mm-hmm.
crazy that
Mm-hmm.
we've got to get that tree up right after Thanksgiving.
Exactly. And I think that that is a kindness to our children in years to come that want to
Mm-hmm.
support us. Like I had rushed over to mom's and I was tired
Right,
to put her tree up and to
right.
put
Which she's called
Thanksgiving
me.
up. I know.
She's called me
It's just
two times
I
about the
think that that
ornaments.
tree I think that the tree bother I think it's more of a problem than it is.
Already called me twice.
It is a problem. It's a problem because she's missing her ornaments and I don't
Right.
know. I can't help with that. So I
Yeah.
said, "Mommy." She says, "This the stuff on this tree, Chantel, that's the children's tree that was
That's what she
downstairs in the
told me.
family room.
That's what she
Why
told
do
me.
I have the children's tree?"
That's what she told
And
me.
I said, "Mom, I mean, she's right. All of those ornaments are
Right.
the
Right.
children's
But
tree.
I mean,
I can't fix that." She said,
no.
what did she say? And she said, and then it's a puny little tree. So I said,
I know.
"Mommy," I said, "but we're not getting a tree for the space that we're in. We don't need like a big daddy, you
Where are
know,
you gonna put it?
it's not going to fit." So I said, "This tree is actually sized correctly. Cherie actually, like, she probably, and you probably did, pulled out her measurement and did all the
I measured
things."
the space
Yeah, she
both
measured
times
the
when
size. I just would have just ordered a tree and, like, let's hope and pray that it fits. But I know Cherie was very careful in her measurements. So it actually is an appropriate size tree for this space. So then she goes, "Huh, well, at least King Tut seems to enjoy it." The cat, who enjoys sleeping under the Christmas tree lights. And I said, "Well,
Oh,
that is nice, Mommy. King
that
Tut
is,
is enjoying it.
yeah.
That's nice." So the ornaments, though,
I'm
I
bringing her
don't
back
know.
a couple from France. Trust me on that.
Oh,
I'm gonna bring
please.
her a couple ornaments because she says my
Please.
ornaments from
From
all over the
all over the
world.
world are gone. And I don't, I please. I said, "Well, there's a little German boy. There's one little
Lord,
German boy." She said, "Well, where's the rest of his family? Because I have
oh God,
had the whole family." So, yes. Well, that's Christmas. It wasn't, I think she just knows. She sits and she glares at the tree.
I don't
She
know if it's really
glares.
bringing her joy.
It's not bringing her
I
joy.
don't think it's bringing her fa la 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 la.
It's
I
not
don't think
bringing
so.
her fa la 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 la, and I don't know how to fix it because I'm like, I can't. Where are my
You
my
can't
ornaments
fix
from
it.
Korea, my ornaments from Italy,
You
my
can't fix
ornaments
it.
from Germany? I don't have that.
Right.
I said, but so there are some ornaments, the ones with a face, right?
Yeah.
So I did one for all the girls when they were little. So
Yeah.
I was like, "Mommy, but there's, like, look at little Leela," right? Look at, so she goes, she says,
Was that?
"Mm, that's nice, but that belongs on the children's tree, which was downstairs."
Oh,
I said, "Okay, Mom. Well,
well, you know,
it's nothing. I
what
can't
can
do
we do?
anything about that."
No.
But you are right. This is the stuff on the children's tree. That is
Yes.
correct.
We just confirm, we affirm and confirm.
It is
And
correct.
then she'll say, she's so sweet. She's like, well, I know you can't do anything about it,
Yes,
Cherie.
and
I
yes,
understand.
yes.
But it is, and I said, Mom,
You're right. It is the
you're
it
right.
is the children's tree. And
See, I'll only have one little, I don't have all that space. So I have a
right.
skinny tree
One
and I
tree.
have just some regular ornaments.
Right.
And I'm learning from Mom, don't get attached to your stuff
Don't get
like
attached to
that.
your stuff.
In fact, just start giving it away.
Yes.
It's,
I have one tree, or yes, we
hmm
just do one tree. Because I was like, I think one year we did two trees in the house, and I'm like, this
hmm
is a lot. And
hmm
I don't have all of the energy for all of that.
mm-mm,
But yeah, we
mm-mm.
just have one tree with regular ornaments. And yeah, that's it. And we just put it up. It's not like I told the kids, because you know how Mom is with decorating her tree.
Oh, Lord.
It's not like right. So the kids were like, "Yeah, we're gonna decorate the tree," and I'm like, "Okay, kids, like, you can't. Mom's gonna redecorate everything because
Everything.
it's all gonna get redecorated. Mom just has a certain little thing with Christmas, I think.
And she does. She does. So,
She has a certain little
and
thing with
I've had
Christmas.
to really I mean, my kids would say they're traumatized a bit with
Yeah,
me in Christmas,
yeah,
and I get it honest, and I'm
yeah,
really in a reformation
yeah,
time. I'm really
yeah.
trying to, so this is big, me saying I'm not going to rush
It
into
is. It is.
Christmas like that, but I feel like I cannot,
It
it
is.
can't own me like that. And then it still feels like a bit of an idol, and you
It
totally
does.
lose the focus
It does. But
of,
I also say, like, what are you teaching? You know,
hmm
or what are we modeling? Um,
well, that's why I said I had to
yes.
stop it.
Yes. What are we modeling? I I went into a friend's house and it was just a beautiful space and it felt like the presence and the feeling was there. But all she
Mm.
had was a tree. It was very simple. It was like no special ornaments. It was a very simple but
Mm-hmm.
elegant looking tree.
Mm-hmm.
And then she had some candles, you know, and then she had a wooden nativity scene set up like
Mm-hmm.
across a tree in a place. As far as
Mm-hmm.
like Christmas stuff, that was it. But it was so like
Right.
simplistic and like
Yeah.
it also I think made the nativity scene, it made it pop even more because it wasn't competing with all of like so much
Right.
stuff. You know, it was
Right.
quiet. It was a quiet, peaceful, warm, intimate feeling
Mm-hmm.
in the house of that,
Mm-hmm.
you know, of that space.
Mm-hmm.
And I really
Yeah.
did enjoy that. And it also is
Yeah.
accessible, you know, when you're thinking about
Yeah.
your kids and, you know, kids are, you know, their version of what is right, right, comes from what they've seen um,
Sure.
and when it's so much sometimes it's like, is it enough, right?
It's it
Is
becomes
this
a
enough?
driver. It's a
Yes.
driver. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so yeah, so I'm like thinking about, you know, the Christmas because I'm like, oh, I have to have all of these lights and stuff. I'm really not, you know, I don't want to have all of these lights on the house because I just don't. I don't have any like just the and then Christmas is a very busy season leading up because it's, you know, it's the parties, but the girls are in
Mm-hmm.
stuff. It's jury. It's
Mm-hmm.
this, you know, thing. It's this performance here, you know. So it's not like a restful season. It is just like making it through the final push of the end of the year. You know,
Yeah.
that's what it is.
And
It's
and
like,
it's just totally and it's hard to then really appreciate
yes,
the truth of Christmas, which is God broke into history and said,
exactly.
"I'm gonna come now and be with you people
Exactly.
because you're
Exactly. He's like, I'm going to
yeah,
come now and settle you people down so you can get some rest.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
That's what it's
yeah."
like.
Hmm.
Rest. Rest.
And we just are making ourselves crazy and missing
Right.
the point.
Yes. Fa la 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 line. We're out here. Fa la 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 line.
Fa la 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 line.
Like, that's
Mm.
what we're doing in these streets with that Black Friday gear up and
Oh
all of
God,
that.
I couldn't even. You know what I did on Black Friday? I hit stop on all the different things that I guess I had signed up or had signed me up.
Yeah.
You know how you get these,
Yes.
and I just was spent unsubscribing. I was like, no, no, no. That
Yes.
whatever I have, it's gonna have to be enough now.
Yes, I actually, one of my projects that I want to do, I don't know if I'll be able to do it before the new year ends, but one of my friends, so she has an email account that is just
Hmm.
for, because sometimes you can't actually access something now unless you give your email account. So she created a
Right.
separate email account that's just for the purposes of subscriptions that she never
Oh,
bothers.
smart.
And what that does is her personal account, she then unsubscribed all of the subscriptions. So now her personal account is only like email that I actually will use, family,
Well,
friends, you know,
yeah,
stuff
that's a
like
very
that.
good idea.
And so I said, because it's hard, like sometimes I miss important emails because it's just all of the everyday, it's just like hundreds of,
I know.
you know,
I
of
know.
stuff that you're getting. And so that's what she does. So I was like, I'm going to take time because it does take time for you to go through and unsubscribe.
It takes a long time. It takes a
It
long
takes a
time. I
long
mean, I've
time for you to
started that
go
process.
and for you to do that. You can also do so one time I did a like a bulk delete. I do not suggest that after doing that because I deleted
Mm-hmm.
important stuff. Um, but you can also block. You can block sender. You can do that. For
Okay.
your thing, and then just set
Yeah.
up. So I'm gonna just set up like a like a
That's
Shawnee
a good
Shop
idea.
email account or something like that. And then she's like, if I'm
Yeah.
out and I want to know, like, oh, did I get a coupon or is there a discount? I just go to that. I can search it, and it's
Mm-hmm.
there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's
That's a
one of
very
my
good
things as
idea.
far as like cleaning up my.
Yeah.
And then if I don't see it, also, I'm not, because a lot of stuff I'm like, oh, I don't need it, but because I saw it, then I end up
Oh,
buying it.
that's why I had to that's why I had to stop all that. I was like, oh no, 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 no.
And it's just like,
You're gonna
I
figure
don't
out
need
how to
it.
live with what you have. You don't need another
Exactly.
thing. I don't need another thing.
Exactly. And so I want to enter into, like, we're trying to aggressively save in like
Same.
bigger ways in 2025. But and all of those little, oh, it's just $80 here. Oh,
Yeah.
it's just 150 here. All of those things add up.
Well, this is what this week while we're here, because it's really nothing to do. Lorenzo, we brought our financial stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and we're actually going through and scrubbing
Yeah.
all the subscriptions and stuff we don't need. We want to talk to you guys, I think, about getting rid of the cable and
Oh,
figuring
yes.
out that.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
So yeah, we're just getting rid of everything because we need to pay down debt and we need to put money away in savings,
Yep.
especially if 5 years from now we want to 3 to 5 years if we want to try to
Right.
get something overseas, we
Want to be in a
have to you
position to
can't
do it.
yeah, and
Right.
you can't have when you're purchasing overseas, it's not like you're getting mortgages and all of that,
Right.
stuff. So we got to figure it out.
Yeah. No, that's good. And so all these little things, it's like, do you need to have it?
Do I
Is
need
it
to have it?
important?
Nope. And the good
No.
thing when you travel, you realize
I
most of the world is
doesn't
not
have
living.
all this stuff.
They don't have it.
They don't
They don't
have
have
it.
it.
They
And they're
don't have
fine.
it.
And so
Right. Do I need to have it? Can I get rid of it? I want to downsize my life, get rid of things. And I need to apply that to the food. Do we need to
hmm
we eat, and I think our culture, we eat specialty, like, or I'll
I
say
know.
for us, it's just kind of like every day doesn't, it's not like it doesn't need to be a special meal day,
Does
right?
it have to be so much variety?
No,
No.
that's what I'm talking about. No, we need to
They
cut
eat
out the
the same
variety.
stuff. All the variety, like we're at a restaurant. Like we can't eat
Yes.
the same. Do you
We're
know
eating the same stuff.
we had pasta and salmon and
Hmm.
vegetables last night. Guess what we're having tonight? You need they don't eat meat, but
Right.
they eat seafood because
Right.
the we're having, guess what? Pasta
Pasta.
and salmon and veg
Right.
salad. And
Right.
then at the end of the meal, they pull the fruit bowl out and then we just pick pieces of fruit and eat the fruit and then
There you
that's
go. There you go.
dinner.
There you go.
And then at breakfast, there's yogurt and some bread and cheese.
Hmm.
That's it. That the beg There's no variety.
Right.
It doesn't. It's not like a
Right.
thing.
Like
And
every
then
day I have to come up with this fancy menu,
oh,
like I'm
and
running
then
a
like
restaurant.
she's making like a thing of soup, and she's like, oh, that'll be our dinner for the next 2 nights after our second night of it.
Yes.
So this week we will eat. We're taking them out, but a variety. We'll only have two different meals this week. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yes. And
Pasta and
that is
salmon,
what I'm going to be
l-
transitioning my family to.
lentil
So,
soup.
pray for the children.
I'm gonna pray for the
Because,
children.
please, because it's like, no, it's not sustainable. It's not sustainable from an energy perspective because I
Mm-mm.
am the main cook in the
Mhm.
house.
Mhm. Mhm.
So it falls primarily on me.
Mhm.
It is not economically wise because all those different little ingredients that I need this special thing, for this, or I need this for this. it runs up your, your bill.
Oh yeah.
And in
Oh yeah.
these United States of America, if you want to try and eat good, the better
Yeah.
options of produce,
Yeah.
you're paying more for it.
Right.
You're
Exactly.
paying more. It is more expensive to eat healthy or to eat fresh vegetables than it is to eat processed. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and it's like, here it is. I'm not doing every day of the week you need a different breakfast. It's oatmeal.
Mm-mm.
It's oatmeal.
Exactly. That
It's
I'm telling you
like
that it's not,
that's what it is. And so we're gonna,
and we don't need to. And back in the day, that's how it was. Granddaddy Ramsay,
yeah,
every morning it was oatmeal. I
it's
mean, it was oatmeal,
oatmeal. That's what you're having for
and
breakfast.
it was easy for him to maintain. He always maintained his weight, and
Right.
and maintained his wallet.
Exactly. It's like,
You
so
know.
that is the thing. Like, I'm like, what's the thing that we're gonna have soups because soup is soups are easy and
Mm-hmm.
it's good. And then that's that. And then we can stop thinking about what are we eating. So then we can actually put
Yeah.
our brain to other questions,
Right.
you
Well, I
know?
was sitting there like, well, of course they can create shit. They're not be artists.
Right. Of course you can.
Yes. Of course you can. You're not you're not the kitchen. You're not cooking a whole lot, so your kitchen's easy
No.
to keep clean. And
Right.
there's no snacking here. And
Right.
and there's nothing blaring at you. There's not a TV in the house. And so she has spent her day on her sewing machine making these amazing, amazing
Right.
pictures. And he's,
Absolutely.
gonna come in. He's like, we'll grab something to eat, something light, and then they're gonna go to bed. He's like, he'll probably write and draw.
Yeah. Lovely.
I was
Lovely.
like, take a walk in the village, and that's a day. That's a wrap.
And that's a wrap. That's a wrap. And you're just like, wow. If
So
you
at the
write
end of your
out all the things that we actually accomplish in a day,
right, yeah.
it's like
I don't know if it's gonna be.
I looked at my calendar. I got me a new journal because I couldn't wait for
Oh
Christmas.
yes.
So I like a particular
Oh
style of journal.
yes,
And I have this
yes.
style, and orange is my
What's the
personal
brand?
journal. It is I'm gonna say it wrong because it's the Lectrum.
Hmm.
You can get it
Oh
at
yeah,
Barnes and
yeah, yeah,
Noble.
yeah. I know
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah. Well, I love that you're there and you're experiencing a different way of living that you can bring back,
Hmm.
you know,
Yes,
that you
yes.
can bring back and say, because there are little things that we can do and incorporate
Mm-hmm.
into our world,
Mm-hmm.
into our life.
Mm-hmm.
Um, One of the things that I want to try and do, and I forget, I've been wanting to do it all week, and at night I forget, and then I wake up in the morning, I'm like, damn, it's just take a walk after dinner. I
That's
just want
every
to take a
night, a walk
walk
after dinner.
after dinner. I just want to take a walk after dinner, just to walk around
That's
after dinner.
that's what we do after
So,
dinner.
yeah,
We go out, just walk around. It's like, and it's not even, doesn't even have to be long, but it's
yep,
just gets you moving,
yep.
and
So,
very, I love learning there are other ways to live life on this
yes,
planet.
yes.
And much of the good life, no matter where we are in the world,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's different parts of the US, different parts of the world, simpler is better.
Yeah. Simpler is better. Simpler is better. So maybe this year is simplify.
Simplify. Maybe that's our word for this year.
Simplify. That might be our word for
Simplify.
this year. Simplify.
Hmm.
I like that. I like that. Well, dear sister, I have
Yes.
to, you know, um, get ready for some calls today,
Okay.
and all of that good stuff up until 4 o'clock. I cannot stand a 4 o'clock meeting. I just don't think that they should happen. And I
Yeah.
didn't even know this was on my calendar until today. And I'm like, Dad, 4 o'clock after a holiday weekend is just unkind.
Well,
Thinking.
sweetheart, our call for me is 4 p.m. today, but it was felt like a
Oh,
visit,
well,
so
yes, because
it
it was
wasn't
me.
work. It
Right.
was you. It wasn't work. Let me see what's happening. Oh my goodness.
So,
The sun. Okay, so this is outside. So
yes.
these are windows. Do you see the windows?
Yeah.
It's dark. It's dark.
Oh, really?
It's dark now.
That is
In
amazing.
fact, they're calling me downstairs for our aperitif before our simple meal of what? Pasta and
Pasta.
fish,
Yes.
because that's what we had last night. That's what we
What
had
is an
last night.
aperitif? Is that a
It's
drink?
like a pre-dinner drink,
Okay.
just a little, and some vegetables to get the
Okay.
appetite going.
Nice. I think I will do that. I might do
Yeah,
that for my family tonight.
I think so. Just a little.
Yes, a
You call
little.
everyone together. You give them a little
Yes.
drink. You give a little
Yeah.
crude. What is it?
Yes.
Some
Curata.
veggies,
Yes. Yeah.
crudita, and then
That's
and
it.
that kind of gets the digestions flowing so that when they
Mm-hmm.
sit and eat, they're ready to eat. And notice if you're starting with veggies like that,
Right. You're good.
you're, yeah,
You're good. Okay. Well, enjoy your dinner. Enjoy
yes.
the rest of your time there. We will
All
chat
right.
next week.
Next week.
Yes.
What's Monday? What's next
I don't
Monday?
know. Uh, let's see. I think it is the 8th. The 8th.
Oh,
You'll still
okay.
be there.
I'll
Yes.
be in Paris.
Yes.
So yeah,
Yes.
okay.
Okay. All
All
right.
right.
Sounds
Ciao.
good. Okay. Bye
Bye.
bye.